it shall be very hectic week, hectic days. What happened yesterday, I think, will be repeated and probably further scale up today. So let me describe what I did yesterday. Yesterday morning, I got out of bed at 6. We were in the market at 7:30 or even before that, like today. And so after market visit, talking to the media, I have some party HQ duties. So I went back to party HQ, as I will do shortly after this, and every day from now on. And then take a rest, try to run through all my emails. And then it is block visits. So yesterday, my branch, we did 15 blocks.
Wow.
15 blocks. For example, afternoon, I did 6 blocks. Nighttime, we did 4 blocks. So today, I think from 15, we should be able to go up to 16. I remember the last GE, my peak was, we did 16 or 17 blocks a day. Yeah. So you need to be very fit. I'm just fortunate that PM called the GE now, 1 year after my surgery and not 6 months ago. Otherwise, I won't be able to make it. Yeah, and I think it's the same thing with all my teammates here. Yeah, so a bit boring for you, but for us it's very important.
So the thing is, you're covering so much ground,
yes.
So many residents within such a short span of time.
Yes.
The SCP is doing a walkabout as well today. I'm sure they're hoping to cover as much ground. How much of an impact do you think they'll be able to make? They only have about a week, actually.
Therefore, politics is not just the 9 days. 9 days probably represent an important facet of campaigning, but it's the 5 years which is important. So all of us, we have big constituencies altogether with a redrawing of the boundary. It's still about 150,000 voters. So they're spread over HDB estates alone, 700 blocks. So there's a lot of blocks. And that's why we have to keep that pace of 15, 17 per MP, And so the last 5 years, we have been able to cover the ground at least twice and sometimes 3 times. Yeah, I suffer a little bit because after my bypass, I had to suspend my community walk for about half a year. So I was not able to do the 2 or 2.5, but at least once, often 2. So average maybe more than 1.5. But the last 9-10 days, we try to go through the intensive block visits to try to cover all the 700 blocks. Yeah, not easy. Yeah.
So do you think the SCP will be able to cover or make an impact on all those residents in over 700 blocks over the next couple of days?
So we leave it to our residents to judge. We have talked to many of our residents. We know them well. So I asked them, have you seen any visitors other than us? They said, no, only you. Okay. I suppose they rely on rallies and so on to reach out. Yeah.
I've spoken to residents that are actually generally very happy with what's been done.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
We say that they're happy with the facilities.
Yes.
There's just one thing that we could bring up, just car parks.
Car park, yeah. It is so.
Spaces,
it is so. Yeah.
Not necessarily people from the GRC, but outside when they come to visit their parents, they see that that's a problem.
Yeah, it is so.
What can we look forward
It is so. It is so. In fact, it's not a uniquely Sembawang problem. It reflects the last few years of economic growth. And also car ownership prices have come down. So it's easier now, let's say compared to 5 years, 8 years ago, to own a car. So as a result, the car park lots have not caught up. So that's why I think HDB is trying very hard to build more multi-story car parks. That's the only way. And often, if you look at the macro level per estate, there's enough car park lots. But as usual, the favorable car park lots are short because everybody wants ground level parking and nearest to their block, whereas there could be maybe 2 levels of empty car park lots, in the higher story. But human nature, understandable. As a motorist, I also want to park right in front of my house if possible. So that's not possible. So we try to solve that kind of problem. These are very local level. So each MP has their way. Not all solutions are perfectly implemented yet, because if you are short of space, you are short of space. But we try to give priorities, definitely to our residents, and definitely to the first car park lot. But now you begin to see families with 2 car parks, with 2 cars, so their needs have expanded. So I think those are, I would say, problems of success. But to the residents, those are real issues, because day in, day out, you have to handle those issues. And we have, for example, quite a significant number of residents who work late. So when they come back, and by that time, all the lots have been choked. And yes, there's a lot, maybe 300 meters away, but having worked a long day and to walk that distance is, it's not it's not a good option for them as far as they're concerned. So I empathize with their problems. So I've been trying to solve the problem. Hope we can find out with more creative solutions. Yeah. So how to make better use of car park lots? I think that's an issue. Yeah. I don't think it's make or break, but it's an issue that we are aware. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Did you get a chance to watch SPP's rally last night?
I didn't have a chance, because by the time I finished my my many block visits, I went back, because once I go back, I need to do a few things, because I still run the Ministry of Health. so health is 24 hours, 7 day a week business. So I still need to spend a couple of hours on the emails, and I try to also take a look at my Facebook, because I've been negligent. And I make a status report last night that since nomination I've been negligent. But still, I try to log in once or twice a day, and try to clear the urgent one. But where there have been long series, I'll be missing out on the old blocks. But we try. So I sent out a status report to say I've been negligent. Sorry, please forgive me. But my friends are very sympathetic. So they said, never mind, 加油, and please have enough sleep, etc., etc. So they are very kind, and I'm very grateful to them.
Mr. Khaw, I just have one last question. Just to,
Please.
as of the new candidates, it's day 2 after the nomination day. How are you feeling? How are you feeling on the ground since
It's our first contest, so we take it very seriously. We go out and we try to cover all the blocks, and so far it's been very good. The reception has been warm. The residents have been very welcoming of us, and they give us encouragement along the way. So very grateful for that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, likewise, I think the reception by the residents has been very warm, very friendly. I mean, obviously you get feedback every now and then, and, you add that to your to-do list for the next term. But yeah, that I've also had wonderful support from, I think, Dr. Maliki's whole team. They've all, rallied behind, and they're working long hours to help. So it's been a very good experience all around. It's hard work, but when you do it together, it's doable.
Okay. So, Mr. Once again, the SDP brought up the issue of your comments on sending parents to Malaysia. So what's your reaction?
I have stated my position very clearly. I know what I said, I know what I meant, and I leave it to my residents to decide, because they know me. People know me, look at it as this ridiculous, So as I visited some of the residents, they told me so. They said, I'm definitely going to vote for you, particularly because they talk nonsense. So we just leave it at that. Yeah. Thank you.
Last election,
Yeah.
high school percentage of votes for GRC. So I'm confident of another strong base.
We are never complacent. Yes, it's a statement of fact that we had very good results, and we will always work our guts out for the people. So I think that is what at the end of the day counts, because really elections it's fun, it's exciting, people get worked up. But I think at the end of the day, and that's why we ask for this cooling off day, I think it's for voters, including ourselves. I'm a voter too. So I ask myself, so many speeches, so many rallyings, so many claims, promises, half-truths, perhaps some lies. Then what is it all about? And I think as a voter, I ask myself 2 questions. can I trust the candidate? Is he reliable? And then secondly, will their party's policies bring benefits or harm? I think those are the two key issues, and Singaporean voters are very rational, mature, well-traveled, and they know what's going on around us, that the constraints of a small country. I mean, we repeated it many times, but indeed, those are facts of life. See, if you have a large continental economy, China, India, you can take a lot of punishment. Your country can be, quarreling, protesting, and so on. The country will survive. Small country, not so easy. And then small country, to be exceptional on the world stage is very, very difficult. So as health minister, I attend regularly our regional meeting, which are Western Pacific, and that comprises or includes many, many small countries, very, very small countries. And most of them, what do? They are just relying on aid. For example, the Pacific Islands. How do they survive? They just rely on aid from Australia, from New Zealand. So you're at the beck and call of those countries. And Singapore down here, I mean, we are familiar with the region, not exactly the friendliest of region. Many would hope that we fail, we trip, we are poor, we are poorer than they. Then we will, to them, from their point of view, not so arrogant, they said, and not so insensitive, they said. So we try to be friendly neighbors, and we never want to seek a fight. And by and large, there's stability. But it wasn't too long ago when the region wasn't that friendly. And we cannot assume that it will always be so. So how do you ensure that Singapore has its right place under the sun? That is always what worries us most. So next 10 years, I think it's not a problem. But we worry more about 20 years, 20 years later. Will there still be a prosperous Singapore? Will Singapore passport still be respected, that all of us carry with great pride? Or do you try to hide your passport because you are ashamed of the country where you are coming from? So those are issues, I mean, you just think a little bit. Say YOG, the very first Olympics for the youth, and the world thinks it fit to hold it in Singapore. Why? They could easily hold it in US, Greece, where the old Olympics started from, Russia, bigger country, China, even bigger country. But they picked Singapore. There must be something in that. Our FTA with US, we are the only country. They are tightening up on all those work visas. Very hard to get professionals. Exception for Singapore, for Singaporeans. So I think let's reflect on that. How did we reach such a state? Is it because the whole world took pity on us, and therefore they gave us special exemptions? I like to believe there are other reasons at play. And I think that's what leadership is all about. How to go against all odds and yet still achieve in a way, in a fair manner, fair competitive manner, that secure the future of our children. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.